coach, and he looked. He said, "You got to take it." He said, "That's an awesome place." He said, "Travis, you got to take it." He said, "You can't turn that down." He said, "You belong in the SEC." That's his exact words. And man, I shook his hand. He gave me a big hug. He said, "Man, I love you like a son." He was very supportive of it.
Tell me about your meetings, like your team meetings.
Well, it's just, the season gets long, right? So you come in and you just kind of be the same thing, but we get the guys loose with the music. They can play their favorite. Now it's edited, it's clean music. Whatever they want to play, we have DJs and they'll be up there doing it, and we're talking a minute and a half. Then we'll cut it off, and then we get to the ball from there. But it gets the guys loose, get the guys alert, ready, locked in type of deal. We did it for a while, and I like it.
Yeah, what are some things like that might make you unique or different, or that you found as a way to connect with players?
I just think it's very important for any coach to tap into the young man's culture. The whole days of, they play video games, they on Twitter, I don't know. Instagram, okay. Where you're gonna be lost in this whole deal, you're gonna become a dinosaur. So you gotta tap into their culture. You have to, understand them. I'm not saying listen to their music, but understand the music they're listening to, the video games that they play. Because it's just a different age. There's so much on that phone that's different from how we grew up. So just being able to relate to the kids a little bit, even though I'm older, and I just think in return, obviously they want to be coached hard, they want to be held accountable. But if they know that you love them, you being intentional about knowing what's going on in their world, they'll play hard for you.
You're not that old. I mean,
no, I just hit 40. Just hit 40. So I'm like a young.
Do you feel? Are you starting to feel
old? No, I feel 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still working out.
But when you're 20, 40 seems like a long way away. Yeah, and then when you're 40, you're like, maybe I'm kind of getting
40
old.
is the new 20.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm
That's good
like,
to know.
still squatting and still got my energy.
You working out?
Yeah, me and Coach Woodson. We're at 6 a.m. every morning. And we did it at the place we worked before, and it's been good. I try to do the whole workout at lunch. It doesn't work because your phone is going and recruits are calling you. Your wife may call you because it's lunch. You're going to get some lunch. So I do it in the morning. I knock everything out. So even in that little time span, when we was working out, Coach Woodson and I, we text 10 recruits that morning. And that'd be the first thing that they see. And
during the workout?
During the workout. Hey, what's going on, man? Coach T, we're here. Hey, you see I'm working out? Hey, man, be great at all that you do. You see I'm being great this morning. Hey, I'll talk to you later. Boom. Send it to them. Guess what they do? Hit you right back. Oh, man, Coach, I'm gonna be great today. Or they'll love the video. So it's just, Coach Woodson and I, we've been doing it for a long time. And like I said, we work at another place and it works for us. And you get up early and you knock it out, and the kids, they see you in a different light. It's not just a text message and, are you texting them and you say, hey, call me, because you can't call them right now. So you text them and say, call me. Or if you send that video, he got that video. Or if you text them, it may say read, or some of them try to hide if they reading it or not. I know you saw that video. So that's like our secret weapon that we try to use.
Yeah, there's no fooling you.
No.
You gotta you gotta see right past any games.
No, we're gonna see right past. But like I was talking to the defensive staff, we talking about man, we're gonna make guys tell us no. Right, we have a great product here. We got it's a great university. We got great facilities. Our head coach is great. Our head coach loves recruiting. He's a relationship person. We got a lot of things that we can sell here. So, we're gonna try. If they tell us no, they tell us no, but we're gonna at least try. We're gonna have more guys tell us yes than no. So just understanding the product that we have here and getting the guys on campus and showing this great university. So that's our whole mission.
Tell me about Marcus Woodson, who you coach with, you adding him as a defensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's my guy. Great person. Great coach, great person, family man, relationship person. I've seen what he did with the defensive backs when we were at Auburn. I saw what he did with the defensive backs at Florida State. He's always in the recruiting battle, always. If you're going against him, he's gonna be in it because of the relationship. And it's genuine, it's real. His wife and my wife are close. His kids and my kids are close. the values that we're about. We kind of share the same values, and he's a man of character. He's high energy. He's a very detailed coach. He's my guy. He's my guy, good friend. He's a friend before a football coach. He's a good friend of mine.
You brought in Darren Wilson, coach of secondary. You got your defensive staff pretty set?
Yep, defensive staff set. And Darren, we was interviewing so many people. We interviewed a lot of people over Zoom. And it's almost like when you're trying to buy a car or you're trying to get a house and while you're test driving, okay, it's the same car. Or you walk in the house, it's cool, but it doesn't have a basement. Or, it's cool, it doesn't have a fireplace. It's just, something's missing, And then we interviewed him. I looked right at Wood. It's like, that's it. That's the one, very detailed. He had a tie on, he got on that board, he got the coaching, he took the tie off, and it was, that's okay. He's a ball coach, and I already knew just from talking to a lot of people the recruiting aspect of it and how well he recruited. So that was one of them deals, because you just interview so many people, and it was that's the one. So we're excited to have him as well.
I want to get into your background some, but before we do that, as you talk about coaches that you like and the values and things that you see that you like and what's important to you, let's go down that road a little bit. What is important to you as a coach? We've talked about a little bit of it, but also just from an X and O standpoint.
Yeah, so just, before the X and O's part of it is just want to be who you say you are. Do what you say you're gonna do for a kid. Not the whole car salesman recruiting part of it. You say you're gonna do something. You say you're gonna be there for the kid. You say you're gonna hold a kid accountable, make sure you hold him accountable. If you say he's gonna get a degree, make sure he gets a degree. And I tell my love for my guys is not contingent on if they get a sack or they get a tackle, right? That means I'm gonna be emotionally inconsistent. If a kid comes here and he doesn't play, right, I'm not gonna treat him different than the next kid. I missed as a coach. My evaluation was bad, right, if he doesn't play here. But I'm still gonna love on him. I think that I would want that. I have 3 daughters. I would want that for my daughters. And I think that's fair. So being who you say you are, loving up on them, and I think that's very important. They'll play hard for you. And then when it comes to the X's and O's, we're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna be aggressive, but we're gonna be detailed. I think a lot of times, coaches put in so much defense because you wanna show that you're a guru, and the kids can't get lined up. We wanna be fundamentally sound. We wanna get lined up. But we want to be able to throw the kitchen sink at them and do different things. A lot of offenses nowadays, they want to have you off balance. They're going to motion, give you formation to the boundary, different shifts. And defensively, you're kind of reacting. Well, you want to put some pressure on the offense as well. Be able to do some shifts up front, do some stems and movement late, to make the offensive line have to change up their blocking scheme. Do some different things scheme-wise as far as trying to just disguise and do some different things. So now the quarterback can look at the safety and say, okay, the safety is here, so we know the pressure is coming. So doing some different things to put pressure on offenses. But with saying all of that, be able to line up, get your cleats in the dirt, be fundamentally sound, and don't assume that these guys know ball. Coach them up like they're in the 8th grade type of deal. Don't go in there and just talk to them. I don't care if the kid been with you for 3 years, or been in the program for 4 years. Go up there and teach them ball and start all the way over. So, like we was talking about, just be fundamentally sound, be detailed teachers, and whatever we preach, and make sure they're doing it. Make sure they're getting their tail to the ball. Get to the ball with just a mean streak. Get to the ball with bad intentions, and play hard together. So I know I said a lot, but that's good. That's kind of what the background is.
I looked you in your eyes. I told you was gonna make a play. I told you that in 3rd quarter you was gonna make a play. I'm proud of you, dog. I'm proud of you.
I mean, defense is defense, football is football, but the SEC is different too. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the offensives have really evolved, especially the last few years.
Right.
So what's it take to be successful on defense in this league?
You know what? It starts up front. What's different from this league and everyone else, right, is the big men up front. So when we recruiting, we got to get guys, SEC guys up front. It just makes a difference. It all starts up front, And then we getting different offensive personnels and offensive schemes. What was good, be honest with you, coming from the AAC at UCF, you got all kinds of stuff. They slinging the ball around, even playing Navy, and they're in that wing tee, and You may get a 12 personnel this week, and you may get 10 the whole time. They're going to go fast. They're going to run the quarterback sometimes. So you get so much stuff that gets you prepared for all of the different things you'll get in the SEC. So, but I think what separates us from any other conference is the defensive lineman up front. So let's get defensive linemen. Let's try to get long guys on the back end that can run. You know, even when we're watching DB, I'm asking, okay, what's his track time? Can he run? Because these receivers in this league can fly. You know, so they're going to be elite on the edge, you know, but starting up front, big guys that are SEC guys up front, and then edge guys on the edge that could get to the quarterback. So now you don't have to rush 5. You don't have to go 0 blitz. I could get there with 4 guys and be able to play coverage. So when we are recruiting, I'm asking the guys, okay, I hear you. I see what you're saying. Can he help us win the West? Can this kid help us win the SEC West? You know, okay, now, on top of that, who did you beat for him? You know, so, because if you don't win the recruiting battle, they beat you in the recruiting battle, they'll beat you on the field. So let's go get players. So that's kind of what we're talking about defensively, and everybody is fired up to go get players, which is awesome.
The recruiting part of it's a grind, but I've heard you talk about it several times already. Is that one of your, like, passions? Something that, I mean, you seem like that's...
Yeah. I love recruiting because right now everyone is about to go on this break. All coaches around America, signing day is a day, and everybody's gonna go on a little break to kind of take their breath, and they should, because you've been away from your family and it's been a long year, but you can, while you're taking a break, you can't break. So we getting a defensive recruiting schedule together, we gonna FaceTime guys, like, you're gonna be with your family, but at a certain time, right, we gotta recruit, because you're not, someone else is. I love doing it. I love meeting people. I love meeting the families. I love learning their stories. You know, from grandma to granddad to just everyone that's involved. Whoever's gonna be at that dinner table at Thanksgiving that's important to that student athlete, I love meeting them. I actually love the competition of it too. I love going against another coach, knowing there's gonna be a head-to-head battle and trying to see who's gonna get him at the end. But we know our livelihood is about recruiting.
Yeah.
It's about recruiting. You gotta develop them. You have to develop them once they get here as well, but when your players are better, them calls are a lot better as well.
Tell me about your family.
Oh man, so I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. Went to Spring Valley High School. Mom and dad, stayed with my mom and dad up until 12 years old. They got divorced. I have 3 brothers. I'm the second oldest, so it's 4 boys. I grew up, I would say, maybe 12 minutes from the University of South Carolina. So I grew up in Saxon Home Projects. Those are projects that was there. They tore those down, and we moved to the trailer parks of, it was in the northeast side of Columbia. And I ended up going to Spring Valley High School. Coach Jimmy Noonan, he's the guy that he coached me, and kind of the rest is history football-wise. But growing up, I had both parents, and both parents were still involved. My brothers and I, we fought just like all brothers, and I guess that's where we got all our toughness from just banging on each other. Huge family. Stayed with my dad, you know, most of my just growing up years. Both of my parents are awesome. Still living, very proud of where I'm at, and very supportive. Just, you know, and I understand, because there's 4 of us. I have a brother that's in San Antonio, a brother that's in Ohio, a brother that's in Philadelphia. You know, all of them are working, and so just being able to carry that name on your back, that Williams name, is very important. Coming from where we're from, there's not a lot of people that gets to go to college, you know, play on TV, and now shoot, defensive coordinator at a great university. So man, I'm blessed, man. That's why I always have a smile, and I don't have a bad day. And if something was going on, nobody cares. So you gotta keep it going. So, man, I'm blessed, man. I've had humble beginnings, but I know it's people that got worse stories than me. So I'm not gonna sit here and, like I said, nobody cares anyway. So, but I'm not gonna complain about anything because I'm here and I just work my tail off, and God has been awesome to me.
Well, and you went to college, and then just go all SEC.
Right.
Linebacker at Auburn, early 2000s.
Right.
On an undefeated team.
Right.
What do you remember about your college career?
Man, we had a lot of fun. It's fun and winning. Played on a great team in 2004. When I got there, I was a red shirt, and just like every kid that's gonna go through it or have been through it. You get there, you was the man in high school. You get there and you're like, man, I'm red shirt. I didn't sign up to red shirt. I'm the man, right? I'm the, I was the man in high school. I was the best guy on the team. But then you get there, everyone is good around you. So my first year I red shirted. The second year I was a red shirt freshman. I wanted to leave just like my dad was like, well, you can't come back here. Like, where you gonna go? Stick it out, it's gonna work out. And then my red shirt sophomore year, that's when I started, and I was a 3-year starter from there. And my red shirt junior year was 2004, and we were undefeated and had a really good defense, really good team. And then, the rest is history from there, but had a lot of fun in college.
Played for Tuberville, undefeated, but didn't get to play for the national championship.
Yeah, played for Coach Tubb. Like I said, we had a great team. Didn't play, and I think the two years prior probably hurt us because we went to Southern Cal in 2002, and they beat us in Southern Cal, and they came to us the following year, and they beat us. Reggie Bush and all of those guys, they were freshmen, Matt Leinart and all those guys, and they beat us. So the third year, we didn't play, but it came down to us, Oklahoma, and USC, and I think the voters were like, well, we've seen this movie before, let's see something different. And we ended up playing Virginia Tech.
The 2005 Nokia Sugar Bowl on ABC. 10-2 Atlantic Coast Conference champion Virginia Tech. 12-0 number 3 Southeastern Conference champion.
And then USC played Oklahoma, and they blew them out. So we sitting there like, well, we were supposed to be there, So, but it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun,
NFL?
NFL, Atlanta Falcons. So I was a free agent, Atlanta Falcons. So that's why I understand walk-ons, because a free agent, you're a walk-on, and you have to earn, man. You got to earn your right on the team, and so I was a free agent there. And the first year, I played all the way up to the last preseason game. And now to take you back, I got injured. My first time ever actually being hurt. We was just working out OTAs, and it was a shuffle, turn, and sprint. Felt my back pop. I'm like, man, what's going on, And I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just practicing. And they got to a point I couldn't even put my socks on. So I go to the trainer, because I couldn't bend over. So now we're in preseason games, and they did an MRI. It's like, well, you got a herniated disc in your back. So they was gonna do a epidural shot. So the only thing I knew, that's where they get pregnant women. So if this woman can do it, I can do it. Okay, it's cool, let's shoot my back. And so we go in there, and they numb me up with one needle, and the guy's talking to me. And then the whole time he's talking to me, he got the other needle in me. So I didn't feel the thing. So the needle was in me, and he finished. He said, all right, we done. I said, man, you done? He was like, yeah, we done. Okay, I said, man, let me see that needle. So he shows me this long needle about this skin. It was like, I'm not exaggerating, so.
Yeah, a foot long.
Man, you had that in my back, yeah. So go through that. I'm playing well in the preseason game. My back ended up hurting and start messing with me again. So the veteran was like, hey, Rook, listen, if you hurt, man, you need to sit out. So I'm thinking I'm a young rookie. I'm thinking they just hating on me, right? Because I'm like, yeah, they see me balling. They see I'm coming. They don't want me to take their position. They just got, Keith Brookin just got paid $15 million, something crazy. He's not worried about little Travis Williams,
Yeah.
But he's really trying to help me.
Right.
Get to the last preseason game, and then I go out to practice. And then after the last preseason game, we had practice, and it was cut day, and I'm feeling good. I had a good game, and they cut me. Well, the veterans told me, say, man, if they get you on camera, that's saying you're healthy, and they could cut you. So they cut me, so I went back home, and I cried like a baby. Then they ended up calling me back close to the end of the season, and I finished out the season, and then the next year I played, and the next year I hurt my back again, and I was like, okay. I seen this movie before. I was on third down package, and I was on all the special teams, and they drafted this linebacker in, I think 5th round, forget his name. Instead of being on all 4, I was just on 2. So, something's up with this. So we get to going, I'm still practicing hard, hurt my back again. And I said, Travis, you can keep going, or you can tell them your back hurt, get them to pay you, you sit out, because last time they didn't pay you, they cut you. So I just told him, I said, man, you know what? And all my coaches, that's what getting to the coaching side of it. All my coaches, especially Coach Gene Chiz, he always said I'll be a coach one day. And I said, man, you know what? I'm done with football. I'm gonna get into coaching. And that's the transition into how I got into coaching in 2008.
That's a lot of inside look at how it works in the business.
In the business.
Which also helps you understand players and recruiting and NIL and all this stuff now in a unique way. So you knew you were going to get into coaching.
I knew it.
So you end up at a high school, you end up at a small college, and then you go to Auburn as a GA.
Yes. So I went back to my, I actually went back home, my hometown, and I just volunteered at my high school. And then that's when I just knew it. Like, this is what I could do the rest of my life. Wasn't getting paid anything, just had a blast coaching the guys. And then from there, Coach Chizik he got the head job at Auburn. He called me to be his graduate assistant. So I did that. And then again, so now I'm learning like how, because most guys that play think they can coach or think they know ball, but it's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't understand as just ball players. So I went to be a GA, and then from there, I ended up going to Northern Iowa, from Northern Iowa, Creekside High School in Atlanta, and then back to Auburn. And then finished at Auburn, Miami for 3 weeks, UCF for 2 years. Now
Miami for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So when Gus Malzahn got the UCF job, you had met him at Auburn? You were on
I was
staff?
with him at Auburn.
Yeah.
So I was there from 14 to 20 with Coach Malzahn. Matter of fact, I was with Coach for 8 years straight, the longest person being with him, 8 years straight, 10 years total, because I counted my GA years, my 2 GA years, 9 and 10. And then from 11, 12, 13, I was away from him. Small college, high school, but then I got back with him from 14 up until this last year, to 2021. So it was 8 years straight I've been with him, and it's been from analyst to linebacker coach, recruiting coordinator, to linebacker coach, co-defensive coordinator, and he hired me as a defensive coordinator. So he's been good to me.
So we did a show called Our Time on ESPN Plus following University of Central Florida football team. Your first year there, Coach Malzahn's first year. I remember being on the phone with him, and he's like, "Man, you got to meet this guy, T. Will.
Yeah.
He's gonna light you up."
Yeah.
And you walk in and you see it.
Yeah.
So now, how did that meeting go when you told him you were coming to Arkansas?
Man, you know what? Oh, that's a great, because he's been awesome to me. I'm sitting right here in front of you because of him. And I called, and Coach Pittman could tell you, like, when we talk, I said, you gotta call Coach Malzahn and just let him know. And because I always told him, like, Coach, I never do anything behind your back. I'm not gonna, because people call and people call, and I would tell them I'm not interested. And if I ever was interested, I would tell Coach, And obviously when Coach Pittman called me, I was interested. He said, Coach, you just gotta call Coach Malzahn, and he was gonna do it anyway. He said, yeah, I'm gonna call him. And he called him that morning, and he did it that morning, and I didn't want to walk around the building. It's all awkward, right? So I go in that first thing that morning and sit down and say, Coach, I just want to let you know I talked to Coach Pittman, and I know he said he was going to call you. I don't know if he did yet, but had a conversation. He said, yeah, he called me, and we sat down, and he asked me a few questions, and I answered the questions, and then once it got, like, real, when Coach Pittman and Coach Malzahn spoke again, and he was gonna offer me the job, I went to Coach, and he looked, he said, you gotta take it. He said, that's an awesome place. He said, Travis, you gotta take it. He said, you can't turn that down. And he said, you belong in the SEC. That's his exact words, and man, I shook his hand. He gave me a big hug. He said, man, I love you like a son. He was very supportive of it. So he pretty much said, no, you gotta take. So it wasn't like, well, hold on, let's see if we can negotiate. Travis, you gotta take that. Like, so I know one thing I do know, he cared for me, and he wasn't gonna be selfish and try to, like, talk me out of it, or, well, let's see if we can do this for you or whatever. No, you gotta take it for Janine and the girls and your goals, you gotta take it. On top of that, that's a great place. He said Coach Pittman heard a lot of great things about him, and obviously I did too. So really got his blessing, so it made it a lot better, because that's 10 total, 8 straight with him. And anybody, I'm just super loyal. I'm super loyal. So And I told him I wanted to talk to him first. So it worked out. So
That's
it was good. And he for my 40th birthday, he sent me a video. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Janine and 3 girls. How are they?
So True, Rain, and Brave. So True is 11. She's about to be 12 years old this month. So we spell her name TRU. Rain is 7. About to tell a story. Rain is 7. We spell her name REIGN. And Brave is 4. And we about to. Her name is spelled BRAVE. Reason I'm stumbling because Rain just yesterday. So Rain was in church. She wanted to get baptized this Sunday. So Janine called me. She was like, well, she want to get baptized. So she's been kind of going through growth track, and we educating on her on what that means. And she wanted to get baptized. She said, well, I want Dad to be there. This is my 7-year-old, the middle daughter. So make a long story short, yesterday we sing a happy birthday to her, and it's not her birthday in December, but it's her spiritual birthday. So she got a balloon, happy spiritual birthday, and so it's an awesome deal, and I expressed to her that's the best decision that she can ever make. So proud of her. So when I go back home, we're gonna go to the baptism, but 11-year-old, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, True, Rain, and Brave, and man, they the reason. They the reason I do what I do, and I always tell the story all the time. It doesn't matter. We can win a game, we can lose a game, but to those girls, you just won the Super Bowl. So I can't be emotionally inconsistent. I can't walk out the door with my head down. I gotta walk with a big smile after a loss, because at the end of the day, you're daddy. So you can't change that. I don't care. I mean, I care that we lost. Them girls don't care, so I can't walk down there like, come here, girls, because that's
How do you do that?
You know what?
I mean, it's one thing to say that. That's a hard thing to practice.
It's hard, man. And
for people in all kinds of jobs.
Mm-hmm. I've been blessed to be around great coaches, and I heard this as a player. Coach, crazy this happened. Coach Gene Chizik, who's my mentor, I love him. Coach Gene Chizik. It was in 2002, maybe 3, but let's say 2. The Arkansas Razorbacks come to Auburn. Had a little running back, Fred Talley. Fred Talley ran for 200 yards. He's still running. He's still running.
He sure is, I remember that.
So, Coach Chizik come in the meeting, said, guys, we're gonna get better, but we're gonna bury this tape. We ain't gonna even dig it, we won't bring it back up, because we're better than how we played. We're gonna bury this tape. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna be consistent as possible, because I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be a father one day. He said, I got a son and 2 daughters. And after that game stunk. But when I walked out that door, they were still looking at Daddy. And I gotta be Dad. I gotta be and that hit me. So I understand what you're saying to these guys that could carry on 30 years from now or whenever, 20 years from now. Because that's the reason I got that from Coach Chizik. So when I leave out of there, win, lose, or draw, the girls are gonna be looking at me and they just see Daddy. That's crazy. That was Fred Talley, Arkansas.
Yeah.
How about that? Get
That's
that
wild.
on camera. How about that?
That's wild, man. Yeah, well, I don't think the video is actually buried, so we may end up showing it.
It's
Sorry.
there. Hey, I don't even know if I was out there. I was on special teams.
You weren't the only team he
But
ran all over.
It was a learning
like that.
experience. It was a teachable moment. And man, he was running. It was a bunch of misfits, and he ran the ball. He did his job.
Yeah.
We didn't do a good job defensively. But what I learned from that is, as a father, be consistent.
Why Arkansas? I know they offered you a job, but what have you learned about this place that you like? I mean, you're recruiting now. What do you say about it?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Coach Pittman is the real deal.
The thing that hit me about him was, obviously I didn't interview anybody that I didn't feel like was a good coach, from watching film on their product that they're putting out there. But then it became what kind of man, what kind of recruiter. We need a recruiter at that position as well. I think good man, one that understands that recruiting is work. And I just heard so many great things about him from guys I knew that had called me. And then when I got in front of him, I can remember calling Hunter Yurachek and say, I found him. and there was no doubt in my mind.
Coach Pittman is the right fit for this university. Blue collar, tough, like being a hog. You got it. There's no finesse in that. You have to be just blue collar, hard nosed, and that's the way I don't come from much, right? So the way I got to where I'm at is hard work, being blue collar, like just rolling up your sleeves, and not being cocky. Don't tell me what you're gonna do, show me, and just that walk silent but carry a big stick type of mentality and not being afraid of anybody. Like, I wanna be around that. I wanna be around it, but it starts with our head coach. And when I got in front of him, it's like, wow, everything I heard about him is real. Like, he loves his players, he loves his coaches, he loves this university. This is his school type of deal. Like, this is Alabama, this is his Ohio State. I want to be around a place where he sees it. If you don't want to be here, and nobody's better than us. Like, so I want to be around a person that thinks that way. Like, that's how he thinks about Arkansas. I want to be a part of that. Now, once you get here, he was showing me the facilities. I thought, oh, coach, man, we got enough. We got it. Like, we're going through the facilities. Okay, boom, I could show a kid this, I could show a kid that. Oh, man, we got a barbershop. Oh, I like that. We got a dang on studio. Ooh, these kids like music. The studio is there. The weight room is 110 yards. Like, then you go to the Jones Center, right? We got the longest, we got the biggest academic center and also cafeteria in the SEC. And you walk in, Jerry Jones has done a great job with that. He and his wife, like, it goes on and on and on. You see our locker room, everyday locker room. It's better than a lot of people game day locker room. Then you go across and you see the game day locker room. You're like, okay, this is unreal. And then you go into the game, you're gonna walk through the crowd, right, inside the locker room. It's kind of built like the Dallas Cowboys, and it's roped off, and you got fans on each side. It's like, I got more than enough to kind of show and sell here, and we the only show in town. And Coach said, like, you don't play, like, for the University of Arkansas. You play for the state. It's the state, so we are the pro team. Obviously, we the college team, but we the pro team, the college team, and they come to see their Hogs. So, man, that's why. Like, shoot, man, I'm good. Yeah. Coach Pittman, the real deal, man. Like, I tell folks call and ask me, is he really? Yes, he's really like that. He's really like that. He makes you want to work for him and go out and make sure. My job is to make sure he's successful. Point blank, period. That's my job.
All right, we're going to get to the ball. We're going to play intimidating defense. You're going to see the guys playing hard. So one of the best things you can get from a coach, from the opposing coach, man, your guys play hard. So when you watch us, we're going to play hard. We're going to play physical. We have that mental and physical toughness that you need to play. We're going to get our tail to the ball, and it's going to be sound. It's going to be some sound defense. But at the same time, when teams watch us, they want to watch us and say, okay, those guys play hard and they play physical.
You don't have to break down the positions, but just give me a quick overview. What are you walking into personnel-wise, defensively? What kind of work do you have to do to get ready for the season?
You know what? It's going to be work whether we were the #1 defense in the country or last. It was going to be work anyway. Let me tell you what I do like. When you walk in, the guys are bright-eyed. And they're, man, right now, man, they're eager to learn. They're hungry. They want to get better. We got a new defensive coaching staff. We're different, right? The energy is different, and they're eating that up. So just come in every day, and we won't be detailed every day because our time is limited in front of them. So let's not waste time. Let's be detailed and be fundamentally sound as far as how we coaching as well. But just the opportunity just for growth and the opportunity to teach and learn. The plays and all that, everything else take care of itself. But just having fun with the guys, because the guys are eager to learn. And just like Coach Pittman had the whole team here for the championship game. Like, okay, guys, we're gonna have the football game on here in the team room, in the lounge, which our lounge is nice too. I didn't say anything about the lounge, basketball, all that's nice. But we had them in the lounge and the bonding part of it. But defensively, you could just see they're bright-eyed and they're taking notes. So with that, you got a chance because they're eager to learn.
For fun, you like music.
Yes.
Like we talked about, you start meetings, you like guys come up,
Yes.
pick a song for a minute
Yes.
and switch it to another song. You have fun with that, but you like rap.
Yes.
And you do rap.
I rap. I may be all right with it. I don't know. I'm getting a little older, but I think I could do some bars. I may have something up my sleeve. I don't know. We got to see. But we got the studio. We can't let it.
You got something for us right now?
I always get that question.
Well, of course. I mean,
I know.
It's hard, man.
But
People
if I
want you
do
to
it
perform.
now,
Right?
I can't like surprise people when I do it. But I can tell you this, I'm not gonna let that studio collect dust. We're gonna use that studio. So it won't be.
Are these gonna be external, or are we gonna get to see this? Or is this just gonna be internal?
When I do it, I may let you video it. How about that?
I mean, that sounds great.
And then we can just.
I mean, I got you right here,
You
right
know
now.
what, when
though.
I go, I couldn't do it now. But when I go places, seriously, every time I go to these schools,
Everybody wants it, don't they? Yeah.
they still remember a freestyle from almost 3 years ago.
Things a little different tonight. I asked Coach T. Will, I'd like to hear a little freestyle tonight. Are y'all okay with that? Yeah. Coach T. Will, come on up. He's gonna do a little freestyle, and he's gonna break us down.
Time out. Hold on. Cut it off.
I gotta be quiet.
Bats getting broke like Bo. Bo made an all-pro throw. Not Jackson, but Knicks. True freshman, first game on the road. Hit Seth Williams for a walk-off 6. Turn kid, ain't seen no blitz. Oh, you a dog, I don't see no pit. Yeah, had a few goal left, but they had it hard. When it come to AU, gotta have some heart. Yeah, that's us. Never just went to the league, but still got Sherwood in the cut. Boom, tut, boom. And it's LBU, so it's still boom, boom. Now we got a tank with 100-round drums. DJ and Worm, you know how they come. Man, it's hot. Who turned on the stove? Oh, never mind, Eli on the go. Now they want to talk about a 40-yard dash. They said he a cheater, but I'm betting on Flash. Now when they act like I ain't got jury, 2010 got a ring, that's cool. Counting on 4 could have really been 2. Heard it's a coach that's hating on him. Time to send a little mess to the slim. I'm T. Will, way too real. Don't play with that coach, he is not one of them.
So when you do that, is it like planned, or you just kind of got it in your head? You just roll?
Yeah, I get a beat. So what I'm running into right now, kind of giving you behind the scenes, is getting a popular song, and it's not like a big popular song right now where the beat can just automatically catch you. So that's what you're running into. But I would get a beat, and I just kind of just listen to it, and then it just go.
Where did that come from? Where did that?
It's just poetry. It's just putting words together. And now, sometimes I could go off the top of my head, but if I want to go for 16 bars, because you got 4, you got 8, you have 16. Then I would write some things down and make sure I get this in. Or if I'm gonna say something, make sure Arkansas, Hogs, you got to put something together. So you got it in your mind.
When did you start doing this? What age?
I always liked music, so
even as a kid.
As a kid, I always liked music. But how it really started was when I was with the Falcons. So my roommate, because I was a free agent, didn't have any money, so I was trying to save money. So as a guy on the team, most guys would go play golf. So when I was staying with him, he had a studio. So he was into music, so I'm in there and I'm watching guys do music, singing, rapping, and all that. So I'm like, man, that's just poetry. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. So just playing around with it, and from there, I was like, okay, I want to try this, and that's how it happened.
Man, you're gonna have some fun. We can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, we'll wrap up with this. When you're done with your time here, whenever that is, how do you hope people think of how Travis Williams was when he was a Razorback?
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great question. He was a man of faith. His energy is just unreal. I don't know how in the world he has that type of energy. He loved his players. He loved the university. He was super loyal to Coach Pittman. Everything else take care of itself, because I think the X's and O's take care of itself. But if you loving your players, if they see, I think the faith part of it, the good Lord's gonna take care of you. So everything else take care of itself. Loyal. This business now is a funny business now. Loyalty. That's one thing, man. As a man, right? That's just how I was raised. As a man, if you don't have your word and you being loyal, it's something that's real. My energy is just man, I'm blessed to be here. Like, I just can't coach my hand in my pocket and just kind of just sitting there and like, I want the players to, I tell the players to play with energy and have fun. I want to coach with that same energy and have fun because they're blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be here. You could have a different person in your seat. It's a line wrapped around the corner to be the defensive coordinator here sitting with you. So I do not take that for granted. And I want to maximize the opportunity to pour into these kids' lives. And also, man, go out there at the end of the day now, I'm going to be judged by that defense. Go out there and play some hard-nosed, tough defense as well. You know, I said a lot, but.
That's good. I mean, I'll follow up with one more question. How hard was it for you to leave UCF and all those guys that you'd built relationships, just knowing how relational you are? How'd you do that?
It was hard. So Coach Pittman, I give you the behind the scenes, Coach Pittman called and we was gonna hold off until, so we started bowl practice that Saturday. So we was gonna hold off and kind of do it that next day, that Sunday. Cool, I'm good with that. We get it done and talked to Coach Malzahn, everything was good. That was that same conversation when we hugged and all of that stuff. Well, I'm meeting, my phone is blowing up, and so now this rumor is, it's like, hey, did you take the job? Hey, what are you talking about? Man, I'm just telling you, it's out. Like, either I can break it or it's gonna get out. Man, I don't know what I said, let me call you back. I hang up. So I had just met with the defense and the guys was in the locker room coming out to practice. So I run to Coach Malzahn. Hey, Coach, this thing is about to get out. It won't, tomorrow it's not gonna.
Too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
So, okay, what you think we should do? Coach, they're in the locker room right now. We can go to bring them back into the defensive room or wait till after practice, but it's gonna be, so we had practice. So good thing is they were leaving coming back on the field from the locker room, but you could see the trainers and the strength staff, everybody looking at their phone. So it's weird.
Yeah.
So we break practice and I have so after practice I have the whole defense up. I say, hey guys, we got a couple things we need to show you on the board real quick before we break. And so we meet you in the defensive team room. So we go in the defensive team room, and man, I couldn't even, I cried. I said, fellas, then boom. And they crying, but at the end, they hugged me like, Coach, man, we so happy for you because you build real relationships, and I wasn't gonna leave without talking to him. That was not gonna happen. So I appreciate Coach Malzahn allowing me to do that. And he was in there and other defensive coaches was in there. And so when I start talking, just broke down. Like, man, I thank y'all. Even for the Broers Award I was nominated. And I made it because it's all about us and we. I say, hey, fellas, I know y'all see this on the internet. Man, only reason I'm nominated because of y'all, because of the coaches. So we just talk about just doing everything together. And I just told them the reason I had got this opportunity is because of them trying to do everything that we was coaching them to do, and we had a lot of fun, and even when we corrected you and we wanted to get better, they wanted to get better. So I cried, they hugged, and they stood up. Hey man, that made me feel good because it wasn't. And then afterwards, the parents just texting and calling and was so thankful. The players wanted to meet afterwards one-on-one and say how just thankful they were. And so it wasn't any bad energy.
That's great.
Which is awesome. Nobody was like, oh man, you lied to me, or it was none of that. It was so supportive. But that's the story behind it.
Yeah, well, hey, sad goodbyes, new beginnings.
Right on.
Welcome to Arkansas.
Happy to be here.
And good luck, Matt. Good luck. You're just getting started.
Just getting started. So the good Lord got me on another mission. So I'm ready to pour into these guys and do everything that Coach Pittman wants me to do and be loyal to him and get these fans something to cheer about. That's what it's about.